Hello, everybody. Here we are. I'm Eibhlin McColgan. This is Vincent David.
Hello.
Hello from Liverpool. We're in
Yeah.
Liverpool. We're giving you an update, a live update from the day before the conference, the eve of your party conference in Liverpool. And a lot has been happening even before the conference begins.
Yes.
So,
Well, let's go quickly. There's a lot to report on what happened today, even on the eve of conference. I think overall what's been happening is that the right wing of your party, Corbyn, the people around him, the people organizing and controlling this conference are really going on the offensive.
yes.
So, it's been days already that there's been increasing amount of leaks to the right-wing press against Zarah Sultana, her supposed collusion with left-wing group, communist group, socialist groups.
Yes.
And that really, trying to lay the basis for like a right-wing attack against her. And then I think the big news today that happened was the expulsion of leading members of the Socialist Workers' Party.
Yes, Lewis Nielsen, the National Secretary of the SWP, who has spoken on many platforms with Zarah Sultana, including tonight in Liverpool, was expelled. In fact, as people were on the train from various cities coming to Liverpool, they're getting news about their expulsions.
Yeah.
And
he was expelled just because he's in the SWP. And apparently you can't be a member of another socialist group, although the party isn't even founded and there isn't even rule. They've published some interim rules, which says anybody that's a member of another left group will get kicked out. And they've done it on the eve of conference. And it's the national secretary of the SWP, but also a few others as well on the leadership.
Some other comrades of his. And at the same time, at one of the rallies, the Corbyn rally.
Yeah. So tonight in Liverpool, there was two different rallies. There was a rally of Zarah Sultana, which we went to. There was also a rally of Corbyn. And
yes. Well, they went after the RCG comrades, were thrown out of the room. Some were, in fact, manhandled. Our comrades present protested that and tried to shout, "Let them stay." It wasn't Corbyn himself, of course, sat silent through all of it. But Len McCluskey, who has been taken out of mothballs for for this conference, is a big part of the witch hunt. So he actually condemned the RCG comrades as
like saboteurs with some accusation to be sabotaging the movement, maybe even being linked to the state or something.
Some people who were present understood him to say that they were like MI5 or something like that. I'm not sure whether it was explicit.
And there was a lot of cheer in the room.
But it was very clear.
He was saying, we have saboteurs in our movement. That's why we have security to throw them out. And this goes together with a conference, which it's increasingly clear. It's tightly run. The debates have been organized to the point where people can only debate very, very small things and parameters, all decided by the leadership, and very seeking really to clamp down on any sort of dissent. And also they've released the names that we're supposed to choose for the party.
Yes.
So members can choose between 4 names that have been decided by some, obviously the leadership. It's the 4 names are your party, our party, Popular Alliance, and For the Many. And Zarah Sultana had proposed the Left Party, which has, I don't know, its own problem, but it's already better. These 4 names are like so tepid, so lame. There's nothing about socialism, nothing about the working class. They're obviously the choices of the most right-wing elements in the party to just be this sort of like liberal, wishy-washy alliance. That's what these 4 names honestly evoke to me. So all of these things, the purge of leftists, the leaks to the right-wing press, these tepid names really paint the picture of leaders at the top who are organizing this conference. What they want is really a sort of liberal, mild, moderate party purged of revolutionary socialists, of Marxists, of communists, of anybody that really wants to fight for radical change in this country.
Well, yes, I think that's an important point. The right wing, the witch hunters, are on the warpath against Zarah Sultana, as you mentioned, and against the organized socialist movement. And there's a reason for that. There's a political reason for that. It's because of what the left represents, what the organized socialist groups represent. And they make no secret about the fact that they want them out of the party. And, because there's no place for socialism, for socialist groups within the party.
I think that's what's being battled. It's what is this this party going to be? Is it going to be like a moderate alliance, a sort of Labour Party Mark II? Is it going to be like, just a liberal sort of middle class thing? Like, by the way, like Corbyn's meeting, most of it was the reading of poetry and like culture and or is it going to be like a fighting radical socialist party? And that's obviously what Zarah Sultana has sort of leaned on these left group, on the most radical elements of the party, which I believe also is most of the base of the party, or at least the most combative and involved elements. They're people who want a radical socialist option, not some, the mild, reheated liberal thing from the 2010s.
Absolutely clear. There's a reason why they hate the Labour Party and want an alternative to the Labour Party, which is because of the genocide in Gaza. They hate that.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that the Labour Party no longer serves the working class. So yes, there's very strong resonance for certain positions within the party.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's behind the ban on socialists, honestly.
Yes.
It's the SWP, you can have all the criticism that you want against the SWP. They've attacked them as the first shot of a anti-communist purge.
Yes.
That will be extended to anybody that's associated with any socialist organization.
Absolutely. I mean, the SWP is the largest single group on the left.
Yeah.
So to ban them completely is just a warning to everyone else.
Yeah.
Every left group and individual, your head is on the chopping block if you step out of line.
Yeah.
And they want to indicate that they're serious about it.
So this is Friday night. The conference hasn't even opened. So what do we do tomorrow?
Yeah. Well, we have to talk about Zarah Sultana's meeting as well, actually.
True.
So
which was very revealing.
Also, yes, because there were two competing rallies, one for Corbyn and one for Zarah Sultana. And everybody in both meetings knows that there's a rift in the party, there's a deep fracture line within the party, and everyone knows that the competing rallies are for the competing faction.
Yes, exactly. So Zarah Sultana's meeting was much more to the left. There was a lot of left-wingers there, a lot of socialist groups. I've never seen so many paper sellers in my life, all selling papers to the left. Anyway,
90% paper sellers.
So you had a lot of speeches for socialism, for the working class, against Zionism. Very good position, Zarah, and there was a lot of speakers, although there was sort of degrees of opinion, I think, in the speakers. But anyway, it was clearly more to the left than the one by Corbyn.
Yes.
And I think what was revealing is when you intervene at the end of the meeting. So what happened? Tell us a bit, briefly.
Well, eventually they took some questions from the floor after all of the speakers. And many people had spoken about the witch hunt. And, it was clear that that was an issue. So I posed the question that the right wing has declared war on the left by expelling the SWP, and that what's needed is a political fight, a political strategy to fight back. That it's the same witch hunt that has been targeted at Zarah Sultana herself, and that for your party to succeed, it needs to be really committed to challenging the British establishment along its red lines. It has to be anti-NATO, anti-Zionist, and pro-working class. And that on that basis, you need to take the fight to the witch hunters.
That's what was sort of crossing the line that you're not supposed to cross.
Crossed the line.
Yeah, your intervention was the only one she didn't answer to.
She did not
said,
answer.
it was just a statement.
She said it was just a statement, but she gave a very frosty response that there was to be no more of that. I was about to say, it took a fight to get Jeremy Corbyn to actually cough up the phrase that he was against Zionism, and that but before I got past the word Jeremy, she made it clear, and the chair made it clear, that this is not going to be discussed, and she's not going to come back on it. So what does that tell us?
Why is that revealing?
That's revealing because it means that even though everyone in the room knows there's the fracture lines are there, everyone knows that they have different politics. It's in the old tradition of the Labour Party, where in the name of unity, you do not take the fight to the right wing. This is the lesson of Corbyn. It's exactly analogous to how Corbyn would not fight Blair and the Blairites, that witch hunted him in the end. So I think that's a clear signal that we got tonight from the Zarah Sultana wing. And ours was the only attempt to try to link, to try to introduce politics and to motivate that you need a political basis to take that fight. But it's the issue of making a fight that really drew the line, I think.
I think that on the left at the meeting, many people were able, grand speeches for socialism, whatever. Then many people were able to identify that there is a witch hunt attempt, that there is an attack.
Yes.
Many people were able to denounce it in general, that this is not good, but they wouldn't go beyond often just vague appeal for democracy in the party, vague appeal even for unity. Even the SWP speech, I have to say, he was witch hunted. And rather than saying, I was witch hunting, we need a battle plan tomorrow, this is an attack on the entire left, we need to fight back, it was sort of this very tepid speech about why we need this good party. And he tried to draw some lines, but they were honestly political lines that are quite compatible with the Corbyn wing. Refugees are welcome here. Quite sort of liberal.
Yes.
And I think what needs to happen tomorrow at the conference is really the left needs to go on the offensive. The right has thrown the gauntlet. They have made clear, they have drawn a line. This party, there's going to be no revolutionary socialist in it. It's going to be a tepid reformist party. We need to say no. And I think the problem is that we need to go beyond democracy.
Yes.
A lot of the left always talks about democracy in general. We need democracy. Sure, yes, we need democracy. We need to fight the ban on dual membership. But they're witch hunting the left because they don't want a party that will stand against NATO, against Zionism, against the British ruling class, for socialism and working class power. So let's bring the fight on these questions. Yes. And I think the task of socialists has to be to mobilize as much as possible the base of the party on these political lines and take the fight to Corbyn and the clique that is organizing this conference.
Absolutely correct. In fact, the message that came from Zarah Sultana's meeting tonight is this abstract stuff about democracy. The membership rules, the membership, the members of your party, you make the policy and so on. So the implication was that simply by the members voting, although they're allowed to vote on almost nothing, but somehow this would overcome the witch hunt. But there would be there is no battle plan against the witch hunt. Somehow democracy will overcome everything. And this is mistaken. This is very much mistaken. It has to be fought. It has to be on political lines. It has to be at least on the basis of, do you want this party to be a socialist, pro-working class party that will take on the ruling class? Democracy, it just does not address that. And once again, the left that were present in the room completely avoided that question. They completely abdicated responsibility to put forward in response to the witch hunt, we are being witch hunted because we are socialists. Here's why here's why this party needs socialists. Here's why it needs to be built on a socialist program. That's completely absent,
exactly.
Including from Lewis Nielsen's speech, but also, CPGB's Tina spoke, and just none of that.
Democracy.
None of that. No motivation for socialism and no political pushback against the witch hunt.
Yeah. But I think also what needs to happen to push back against the witch hunt, a large section of the base of the party, a majority, has to be mobilized and made to realize that these attacks are actually attacks on the project itself. Yes. And the way you're going to do this is if you lay bare that this isn't a battle between members democracy versus anti-democracy, although there are elements of this, obviously. But this is a battle between, do we want a radical socialist party or do we want some tepid middle-class liberal, coalition? And that's the fight we have to bring. And that's why pushing on these lines, anti-NATO, anti-Zionism, working class, they're just really concrete way in which positions in which this is expressed. Yes. And that the reason they're witch hunting the left is because they don't want these political lines.
No, and we could see from the Sultana meeting tonight, within the audience, Zarah Sultana herself makes these points and makes them very well, about being pro-working class, anti-Zionist, anti-NATO, all of
for
that.
Trans liberation.
This is very popular with the base of the party. But what the base, the membership is not being given is a way to fight the witch hunt by connecting them to these points. Yeah. And Zarah Sultana herself signaled tonight that although she believes in those points, she makes them in every speech, she motivates them. The problem is she's not prepared to fight the witch hunters on them. And so I said, well, you need to take the fight to the witch hunters.
And I think that's going to be the main danger with the left tomorrow, is to denounce in general, talk about democracy in general, but really not taking the fight on the conference floor about this is a battle over which party this is going to be. The right wing is actually breaking the unity. They're the ones starting to purge people and leaking to the right wing press. That we need to fight back and go on the offensive hard. And I think your point about Corbyn is so true. Remember Corbyn, he wouldn't fight the Blairites. He could talk about socialism. He could even criticize the Blairites in general, but he wouldn't wage a real fight against the Blairites. Now, go back to your party. It's the same battle, but just one step removed. If Zarah Sultana refuses to wage a hard fight against Corbyn, not that Corbyn became a Blairite, but Corbyn became effectively the representative of the right wing of this party. With Len McCluskey and Kerry Murphy and all these bureaucrats, the fight has to be waged on the political terrain about what they want this party to be.
Yes, because all of the nice speeches that Zarah Sultana makes, all of the very good points that she makes, they count for nothing if you're not prepared to use them as weapons in a battle to shape the political character of your party. And all these platitudes about membership involvement and all the rest of it is just a way of avoiding that question.
Well, how you involve the membership is by saying, here's our vision for the party, and we're being witch hunted for it. So let's fight. That's how you'll involve the members of the party. Who wants to be on our side?
Here's why you want to be. Which I don't think would be so difficult to win over the base of the party.
So. I mean, we'll see, but I don't think so.
We'll see. But if you fight, you don't always win. But if you don't fight, you always lose. And that's
so I think that's the main danger really, is not to wage that fight. I think there is another danger on the left, and it's to do what I would call stupid stunts. Don't go at conference to do stunts to get excluded, to do power moves, maneuvers. This is the best way to maximize the opposition against you among the members, and also to play into the hands of the witch hunters who are going to say, see the left, they're doing their stupid thing.
They're disruptors, they're doing this stupid thing. Don't give the witch hunters a stick to beat us with. Yes.
What we need are steeled socialist cadre that are going to go there, wage the fight on the political terrain, appeal to the aspirations of the base against the top, and make a political argument as to why this is wrong and the direction they're taking this party towards is wrong.
You want this party to be socialist, therefore there should be socialists in it. Therefore we're against the witch hunt, and you fight, on that basis. It's really as simple as that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's what needs to happen.
That's what needs to happen.
There's going to be a fight, a struggle.
Going to be a struggle.
Probably many more surprises. We'll see. But I think that's the thing. Keep that in mind. This is a battle over what will be your party. What type of party will it be? A middle class, tepid thing. It's going to sink, honestly. Look at the epoch we live in, with crisis and shock, the working class turning to Farage, the worker, a fully anti-establishment and honestly revolutionary option on the left will work. Actually, that's the only thing that will work.
Yes.
Some tepid thing about reading poetry and peace and justice, that's not going to work. I'm sorry. This has no future.
Not at all. It's of no interest to the working class. So the working class will continue to have contempt for the left and think of them as part of the establishment, which they've had since the Corbyn era.
It's just
Honestly,
hippies removed from real life.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Okay.
follow us for
Follow
more.
us.
We'll try to do more video in Liverpool at the Your Party conference.
We will keep you updated of the developments.
Yes, exactly. All right.
So
See
bye
ya.
for now. Bye-bye.